Hello, everyone. It's me, Miss Crystal, and welcome to Miss Crystal's podcast program. And I'm your host, Miss Crystal. And This is a podcast that's also a program. And when I say program, I mean, have you ever watched TV? That's what I mean. It's a program. Except this won't be on TV. This will be exclusively on YouTube and probably Spotify and Apple and everything, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous because this is let me start over. Hello, everyone. It's me, Miss Crystal, and welcome to Miss Crystal's podcast program. And I'm Miss Crystal, and this is a podcast program that won't be on TV. It'll be on YouTube, and that's it. And you could probably you're probably listening to it somewhere. But I would suggest if you're listening, go ahead and go to YouTube and leave a comment that says, I was listening, but now I'm watching. So, because I want to know. Anyway, this is the number one episode of the number one podcast in the world. And I'm saying number one podcast in the world, but this probably isn't yet because it's the first one. I'm so nervous, everybody. I'm so sorry about that. Anyway, you may have seen me on other podcasts like Trailer Tales. Click here to go to Trailer Tales. Anyway, I'd like to introduce you to my guest today. My guest is the one, the only, Safety Man. Safety Man is a man that was created in the 1990s as a way to protect and keep women safe. For instance, you could put Safety Man in the passenger seat of your car, and if a robber or other bad guy or gal, but let's be honest, men are mostly the bad people, bad guys. If a assailant comes up to your car and says, hey, I want to steal your 1999 Toyota Camry, and he looks over and sees Safety Man wearing a blonde wig, he's going to get the heck out of there. He ain't sticking around. Or let's say, for instance, you live at home alone in a very nice apartment like me. You set Safety Man up by the window, and a would-be assailant, again, probably a man, will walk by and see Safety Man sitting by the window, and he'll say, you know what, I'm going to choose another house. So Safety Man was popular in the 1990s, and I thought to myself, I've got to get one. And at the time, guess what? Couldn't afford a Safety Man. Now, because of the lucrative businesses that I have, doing Crystal's Creations LLC, I was able to afford my very own Safety Man from eBay. He cost me $600, was way more than I should have paid for a fake plastic blow-up doll, but I did. Also, I would like to point out that even though you saw me turn on the camera, my neighbor is here. And for years, I've spoke with my neighbor. He helps me with tech. His name is Aiden. I said, look, please come over and help me make sure my camera don't shut off and do my sound. But that's it. The rest I'm doing. I'm in charge. Don't interrupt me. Don't come in here thinking you're the tech master, even though you are. Don't come in here and try to boss me around on the first episode of my podcast, Miss Crystal's podcast program. And that's MCPP. You also might, on this podcast, see a guest every once in a while. I'm going to have very famous people that are from Nashville or maybe even Los Angeles come on here. Have I asked anybody yet? No. I haven't, but that doesn't matter. Once they see the ratings on this podcast, they will want to be on my podcast. And that will do it for the introductions today, folks. The next segment here on Miss Crystal's podcast program is Hunk of the Week. Today's Hunk of the Week, I'm not going to say who he is. The Hunk of the Week could be a man, a woman, not a pet. We're not going to have a pet be a Hunk of the Week. It could be a person that doesn't identify as a man or a woman, someone that is gender fluid, someone that may use the pronouns they or them. It doesn't matter. What matters is we are taking one person each week that we're highlighting. And this is somebody that is important to me, or somebody that I want to bang, or somebody that wants to bang me. And this week's hunk of the week is none other than Keith Morrison. You thought I was going to say John Stamos, and I get that because everyone knows I love John Stamos, and I do. But what I'm trying to do here at Miss Crystal's podcast program is shake things up. And maybe I'll put a little effect on this that shakes. I'm trying to shake things up. And that's that we don't know what's going to happen in the editing of this. I don't know if you're familiar with Windows Movie Maker, but that's what this program is going to be edited on. So if they have a shake effect, I'm going to insert it right now. Let's shake things up. Right, let's get back to the hunk of the week. Keith Morrison, he is a TV journalist on the program Dateline. And every night when I make myself dinner, whether it be chicken, a salad, or something else, I turn on YouTube. I go to youtube.com and type in Dateline. Now, you're not going to believe this, but there is a feed. I don't quite know what to do with my hands yet as a podcaster. There's a 24-hour feed on YouTube that plays nothing but Dateline. And I'm talking no 48 hours, no forensic files. It is only Dateline. And if you click on that, you can watch Dateline from the time you wake up to the time that you go to sleep. You could even let it play while you're sleeping. My favorite journalist on there is Keith Morrison. Yes, he's elderly. Who cares? When I want to watch a good program about somebody getting murdered, I want Keith Morrison talking over it and asking the hard-hitting questions like, did you kill your wife? Or, did you kidnap this woman? And usually he's, again, talking to a man because men, let's be honest, men do most of the killing. And I don't know why. I don't know why, if it's testosterone or because, I don't know the reason. And don't get mad if you're a man. Just accept that your kind does most of the killing. Anyway, Keith, the question that you're probably thinking right now is, would you bang Keith Morrison? And the answer is a definitive yes, I would. As long as Keith is saying things like, the truth about Pam. That was a great episode. He did an episode about Pam, a gal named Pam that lived in Missouri, I believe. That's why I remember. Who not only killed a gal for money, also killed someone else to try to cover that up. And now they think Pam may have killed her own mother. And I wouldn't have known any of these facts without the love and care of Keith Morrison and how much he loves journalism and how much he loves doing voiceovers for these journalisms. And hopefully this gets back to Keith. And Keith says, I'm sorry, who is Crystal? And he'll watch my program. And maybe one day, Miss Crystal's podcast program will be a 24-hour feed on YouTube. Who knows? The sky's the limit. And with your help and the help of others around the world, we can make this podcast go to the top of the charts. Think of this as maybe, okay, so you know how your friends from high school on Facebook are trying to sell you products you don't need, whether that be a pair of yoga pants, a wig, some jewelry, a pyramid scheme. That's what I'm trying to say. And they might say, it's not a pyramid scheme, it's multi-level marketing. It's a pyramid scheme, and they're trying to scam you. Your friends from high school are trying to scam you. Don't fall for it. I think I started this by comparing this podcast to your friends in high school, and that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to say is you're starting here at the ground level of this pyramid scheme, and you are wanting to work your way up with me as I work my way up to the ranks of YouTube. Probably not the best comparison to compare this to a scam, but you get what I mean. I'm the friend from high school who's like, hey, I want you to be interested in my product. And the product is this podcast. And you might be saying to yourself, well, I want to see a couple episodes before I invest in this pyramid scheme. And I get that. I get it. But what I can promise you is that I'm going to be here every week, every Monday, until I'm not. And that's the promise I give you. I'm here until I'm not. And I think I may have got off track. I'm supposed to be talking about Keith Morrison. Maybe one day Keith Morrison will be sitting where Safety Man's sitting. I'm just putting it in the universe. I've heard about manifesting. I've tried manifesting. It does work. So let us manifest here together. My name is Miss Crystal, and I'm with Miss Crystal's podcast program. And one day, I hope to have the one and only Keith Morrison on the podcast, sitting where Safety Man is sitting, doing hard-hitting journalism. You ever have a moment where maybe you're at church or the grocery store and you see somebody you know, and you say, hey, Gloria Smith, and you have that moment where you're like, is that their name? I just had that with Keith Morrison. Is his name Keith Morrison, or is it Keith Morris? That's the question I have for you. And if I did the hunk of the week and I have the wrong person's name, guess what? I'm a fraud. I'm an imposter. And Keith Morrison will never be on this podcast. Damn, is that his name? Safety Man, is that his name? Here's another fact about Safety Man. He, his body, his hands and his head are hard. You know, you can knock on him, but his body is a blow-up doll. Glorified blow-up doll is what Safety Man is. I keep getting off track, and you had to bear with me because this is my first podcast. And I keep wanting to look over at my neighbor Aiden and say, has it been 30 minutes yet? Because we both agreed before we started, look, we want to put at least 30 minutes of product out. And I keep looking out of the side of my eye, hoping he's going to hold up a sign that says 30 minutes so that I can go like this. Because at that point, I'll know, okay, I'm a dedicated podcaster. But you can't expect me to be perfect on the first podcast. This is my first podcast. Yes, I've done Trailer Tales. But that's with 2 other people. I have the safety net of 2 other people. Well, guess what? I don't have a safety net today. I'm the safety net. And my other neighbor, Mr. Elgin, upstairs, might hear me screaming and be wondering, what is Miss Crystal doing down there? Does she have a man down there with her? In fact, he might have saw my other neighbor, Aiden, come in and thought, well, I never knew those 2 knew each other. Well, fun fact for you, Mr. Elgin, I got more friends than just you. Because every day when I go outdoors, Mr. Elgin is up there smoking a cigarette. And in my brain, I think, damn, I wish that was me. But we all know I quit smoking for the better of my health. And I've regretted it. I've regretted it every day since I quit. All right, that's I should have ended the hunk of the week many minutes ago because I got off track and named it Random Talking. But that is it for hunk of the week. Tune in next week to see who the hunk will be. Will it be a gal? Will it be a guy? Will it be a pet? Will it be an alien? Could it be a wildebeest? We don't know, and that's why you have to tune in every single week so you can tell your friends, Hey, did you see the hunk of the week on Miss Crystal's podcast program? Oh, by the way, I have an Instagram for Miss Crystal's podcast program, and you can click on Instagram, type in Instagram, and you can push it on your phone. It looks like a little square. Push that, and then when you get on Instagram, there'll be a search bar. Go up to the search bar and type in Miss. No, it's not Miss. I think it is MS Crystal's podcast program, and then from there, my profile will pop up, and you'll see a little circle that says Miss Crystal's podcast program. Now you're going to say, that is a really cool piece of art. And guess what? I made that with AI. And I don't want to hear any comments about, don't use AI because the computers that are making AI are overheating and they're using all the water. That's not my problem. Get a fan and put it in the AI center and turn the fan and face it towards all the computers. Don't pour water on AI computers, first of all, because that's going to electrocute someone. And secondly, it's going to make the computer shut down. And I'm not a tech person. If you have a bunch of computers that are running AI, put a fan on it. And I'd recommend getting a box fan. Box fans, to me, are more old school, but they cooled you down more than a fan that's on a pedestal. So tech people out there, tech bros, maybe Elon Musk, if you're running AI, get a fan. Don't use water. And I shouldn't have to say this. Me, being the least technical person in the world, knows that if you need to cool down a computer, use a fan. Anyway, I'm trying to get back to my story about my Instagram profile. Yes, I did create it with AI, and that's because I don't know any artist that can make me a logo with bubble letters. They always want to use different ones that are ugly. I can't think of the name of a different font, but I specifically wanted bubble letters because I think bubble letters are my aesthetic. And that's what people say now. They say aesthetic. I think bubble letters are my aesthetic. It also had a cat in the O, and I thought that was cute. And I thought, if we're ruining the world with AI, it's okay because AI did a good job. And all you have to do is type in what you want. I said, make a logo for Miss Crystal's podcast and cats. And that's all I put. And it knew exactly what I wanted. I didn't even have to put that I wanted bubble letters because it knew, because it's AI. And you might get mad and say, well, AI's taking all our jobs. I don't give a damn. Let it. Who wants to work anyway? Let's be real. Do you want to work? I don't. Let AI take our jobs so we can relax. Because an AI robot don't feel exhaustion. An AI robot doesn't need sick time off. An AI robot doesn't get in fights with its wife the night before and call in sick because they're too mad at their wife. AI's child doesn't get kicked out of school and you got to stay home because your child's badass. None of that's happening to AI because AI don't have children and spouses. Let AI do the work for us so that we can sit home and relax. And you might be saying, well, Miss Crystal, we need money. Well, if AI is doing everything, we don't need money. We could grow our own food and the rest should be taken care of. Because AI ain't going to charge us. All I'm saying is think about it. Everybody's scared of AI and is worried about them taking our jobs. Let them take their jobs. I don't want to work and you don't want to work. Who wants to work? Safety man, do you want to work? Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for figuring out the figurine. That's a new segment. First time here on Mr. Crystal's podcast because this is the first podcast. But right here, we are going to figure out the figurine. Today's figurine that is going to be highlighted is this cute little cat I got. This cute little cat is not only made of pure porcelain, I think. Doesn't say. It's made of pure porcelain, and it's a little box. So you could put trinkets in there. You could put your, let's say you get divorced from your husband or wife. You could put your wedding ring in there after you're done. You could put coins. You could hide money. You could, I wouldn't suggest putting any kind of food in there because it is dirty and it's from a flea market. But it's got a nice little pink feather boa around it. And it looks like it's crawling out of a little pillow or something. And it has a cute little bow there. Look at the bow. Isn't that cute? And the little cat, the only thing that I don't like about it is the cat has red eyes. And to me, that's a little demonic and kind of scary. But it's got the cutest little green nose you've ever seen. Cutest little face. And I love cats. That's one thing about me. And your friends might say, well, what's one thing you know about Miss Crystal? You'd say, she likes cats. Do I like it when a cat pisses all over your house and it smells like a hoarder lives there? No. But I love a cat. And I love this little figurine. I just got this recently. This is probably one of the newer figurines. What do you think that little cat's thinking? Can you help me figure out this figurine? What's that cat thinking? Is it thinking, I wish I didn't live in a hoarder's house. I have nowhere to sit. Everything is trash. Do you think that this cat is regretting its life decisions about living with the hoarder? Help me figure out this figurine. Because when I buy them, I don't think about its past or its future. I just think, wow, that is really cute, and I want to add that to my collection. Personally, what I'm figuring out about this figurine is that it's adorable, and I'm going to put it behind me so that every day when I come in my studio podcast, I can look at it and say, oh, what's that little cat's name? I think her name is Candy. She looks like a candy. What do you think her name is? Maybe you could type it in the comments below. Help me figure out this figurine. Wow, that segment was kind of dumb. And you know what? I was thinking when I was planning out my segments, I thought, figure not the figurine. That is really cool. And then I just did it. I'm like, that was dumb. Because you don't have to figure out a figurine. It's just a figurine. And many people say that. But really, in my brain, the reason I love figurines so much is because I love to think, what is that little creature's name? Or who had this before me? Maybe a guy named Gerald had it, and maybe he bought it for his wife, for her to put her little trinkets in. Maybe he passed away in a tragic bus accident. And then his family, not knowing how important that figurine was to his family, or to Gerald, took it and gave it to flea market or Goodwill. I can't remember where I got it. I think it was a flea market. Or maybe it belonged to a little child and she always wanted a cat and couldn't have one because her mom was allergic. We don't know. That's why I like to figure out a figurine. And that'll be the end of figuring out the figurine segment. All right. I had a very important story that I put on Instagram, and it said, hey, call Miss Crystal's voicemail. So now it is time to listen to some voicemails. And I have to put in my headphone because I can't hear them because it's in the computer. The voicemails are in the computer. All right, so I'm going to turn this on, and I got this iPad, of course, that I can't see nothing. All right, here. I'm going to turn it this way so I can see better. All right, I'm going to push play.
Uh,
Uh-oh. Let's got to rewind it. I'm not a tech guy.
Hey there, Crystal. This is Marjorie down here at the Cream Shack. Uh, Come to find out, you left something down here last night when you come to get your peach sundae. Um, I'm gonna guess you know what it is. You left something in the bathroom. Now, I know every once in a while things happen, but you know, do a little bit better clean up after yourself. That's not exactly why I'm calling you. What happened was you remember that feller you lost your virginity to, Donnie Van Steese? Well, he's back in town. Anyway, he come up front because there's a hell of a mess back in the bathroom, so I got to go back there. Anyway, I found your underbritches, and you know, Crystal, you're not in a nursing home anymore. You ain't got to write permanent marker across the back of them. You know, they come lost in the laundry. Anyway, well, that's how we identified who it was. Her name right there, Crystal. Uh, anyway, Donnie Van Stace says, let me help you clean this up. It's hell of a mess. He didn't want his kids coming and seeing it, so he went out back, got a big old stick, threw your britches in the back of his truck and says, I'm going to get them cleaned up for that lady. I remember her. She was always good to me. Well, probably because you used to blow them at the drive-in. Anyways, he run your underpants down there through Mr. Swifty's car wash. Took them out, and they're down here hanging from the stick in the parking lot. Come and get them before we open up. All right, now. I'll get you a free peach sundae if you come get them in the next 15 minutes. All right, bye-bye.
Right. I think I'm going to reset. All right, everybody, it's time for voicemails. We have not listened to any voicemails yet, and we're going to listen to the first voicemail right now. All right, listening to a first voicemail.
Hi, Miss Crystal. I live in Alaska. I'm a huge fan of your content, and I'm excited for you in your new podcast.
Is this an alien?
And I think you're going to do very well. My question to you is, how old is Annie? And how did you get her? Did you adopt her, buy her?
I don't know if this is a technical glitch or if this is an alien calling. And I don't know if you can understand her, but she said, I live in Alaska, and it's transcribing it. And I'm a huge fan of your content, so let's keep listening.
So there's my question. She just looks so affectionate around you in your apartment. Yeah, I'm smiling because I didn't get to actually meet you in a few weeks in Tacoma, Washington. You and your cousin Tammy. I'm so excited. I'm flying down from Alaska by myself to see y'all. And yeah, so that was my question for you. I'm a huge fan. Keep it up. You make us all.
I'm going to be honest with y'all. I was not expecting aliens to call into the show, and I appreciate it. The only thing I can understand that alien saying was they were going to come see us in Tacoma, which has already happened. So not only has an alien called in the show, but they've called in and said that they were going to see me in the past. Because this was sent in a couple days ago, and I was in Tacoma 2 weeks ago. So just a little advice for aliens. I don't know if you said your name. Crystal, I live in Alaska. First of all, alien, don't say Alaska next time, because humans, we don't really live in Alaska. It's too cold, it's too dark. Say something like, oh, I live in Texas or Missouri. Those are more regular. That's just an advice to you. And also, if you're going to call, don't sound like an alien. If you're trying to If you're trying to cosplay as a human, don't talk like an alien. Don't go, because you would talk regular. You'd say something regular, and then you go in your alien talk. But either way, that's the beauty of Miss Crystal's podcast program. We accept everyone. We accept aliens. We accept cyborgs. We accept, what other kind of people are there? Regular people. We accept gay people, straight people, trans people. But what we don't accept is people that are mean. If you're mean, click the X, because we don't want you here. And we don't want to see your comments about, oh, Miss Crystal, you're not funny or entertaining. We don't care. We're worried about the people that we like in here. If you're a hot guy, a hot gal, we like you. If you're an ugly guy, ugly gal, we like you. We don't care. But the second you start coming in this podcast chat room and talking a mess, talking all this, oh, you should do this, you should do that, you're ugly, you're fat, guess what? You're getting blocked and deleted. And probably if I don't see it before either me or my neighbor sees it, because he's going to be monitoring the comments, guess what? Another person that's in the chat room that is nice is going to see it and read you your rights, because that's what they do. And I don't know what else to say about the alien. It was nice meeting you. I'm assuming I met you, and I'm assuming I didn't know you were an alien, because when I was in Tacoma with my cousin Tammy, I don't remember seeing any aliens. And Beth was there, and Beth loved aliens. So she would have said, hey, I just saw a freaking alien. Anyway, I love you whether you're an alien or not, and hope to see you next time. Okay, let's try the next one.
Oh, Miss Crystal, what a beautiful song. What a beautiful song to listen to. I just want.
The reason she's saying what a beautiful song is because if you call my voicemail, and the number is, I don't know what it is right now. If you call it, I did like an old school thing where I say, hey, it's me, Miss Crystal, leave a message. And then I played a snippet of a song. Trying to remember what my damn phone number is. I don't remember it.
To say, Miss Crystal, I've been a huge fan. You probably don't even remember. I've been a fan before you actually were established as an LLC, Miss Crystal's Creation LLC.
Whoa.
About 10 years ago at the farmer's market in town. You were next to, it was a booth with the guy selling the hummus and just giving the samples, and the lady that made her own coconut milk. Mm-hmm. You were just right smack dab in between them. Anyway, I'm rambling now. You made a holiday themed tissue holder. Mm-hmm. I mean, I still have it. It was so cute. Miss Crystal, it had the little bunny ears up top, and you picked up little tissue, and oh, it was adorable. So I'm just so proud. Everything you've done, Miss Crystal. I'm such a huge fan, and I love you. I love you. Look forward to hearing and seeing so much more from you. Thank you for everything you do for the crafting community. Love you.
Caller, I love you too.
Oh, Miss Crystal, what a...
Listen, I wish y'all, I don't know if you said your name because I didn't remember hearing it, but I remember that farmer's market, and I'm just going to call you Caller because I don't know your name. And I was between the coconut milk lady and the hummus guy. And I remember that hummus guy because he was not having my crafts. You know, he was like, why you make this trashy stuff? Well, look, this isn't exactly like what I was selling, but it was a tissue holder that was holiday themed. And he said, that stuff's trashy. I said, you're telling me this is trashy? I said, do you have a tissue holder in your home that you can display during the holidays that will make you and your family proud? There is nothing trashy about this. Look at them cute little rabbits on there. This could both. This could be for Easter or just springtime. So shout out to the hummus guy for being an asshole. And I'll never forget you. Oh, you're selling hummus? I said, what the hell is a hummus? He said, well, it's ground up some kind of beans or something. I said, well, that looks nasty and it tastes nasty. He goes, no, don't. He took a little chip out and said, here, taste it. I said, yeah, it's nasty. No one eats hummus. If I go to a restaurant where they're offering hummus, I'm leaving. If you're offering hummus as an appetizer, you're not a good restaurant. If you're not offering something like a deep fried chicken, a deep fried mozzarella stick, a deep fried onion ring, we don't want it. We don't want to go to a restaurant and get hummus. It's disgusting. And I bet you that guy didn't sell one product. But guess who sold many of these? Miss Crystal, and I make them for every single holiday. Crystal's Creations, LLC, and it's a business. It's a real business. And you might be saying to yourself, oh, Miss Crystal, are you worried about AI taking over your Crystal Creations LLC? You think AI can make this? You could have 1 million computers in the world set up and type in crafts. Nothing like this is ever coming out in the real world. Nothing. AI doesn't have this kind of creativity. I had to take 4 plastic things, sew them together, and then put a smaller one on top with a hole. AI can't do that. You're telling me AI is going to make something as creative and cool as this? This is my own design. This didn't come from a pattern. This came from me and my brain. So no, I'm not worried about AI taking my business away. Because it ain't happening. Tell you that much, it ain't happening. All right, let's listen to another another voicemail.
Whatever.
And if you're wondering, do I screen these before? No, I don't frankly have the time for that. I just start pressing buttons.
It takes, or how my heart breaks, I will be right here waiting for Miss Crystal's Creations LLC.
Okay.
We love you, Miss Crystal.
Now that is a very nice call, but that's a spoiler. That is the song that I chose for my voicemail. I chose Richard Marx. So if you like Richard Marx, go ahead and give me a call at, I don't know my phone number. If I look on my telephone, let me look on my phone because I want to be able to say it. My number is, if you'd like to call my voicemail and leave a voicemail, 615-200-7193. Call it. Dare you. Let's see. Let's play one more. This is from a 216 number.
Yeah, Miss Crystal, this is Barnaby. First off, I want to say that was...
First off, I want to say that ain't your real name. I never met Barnaby in all the years I've been alive.
Voicemail. Second of all, I'm calling because we got a problem.
Oh, great.
Diamond owes me some money.
Not my problem.
And guess what? She didn't pay up on that due. And what she put up for collateral was her sister Crystal's Precious Moments collection. And I said, you know what? I think we can do that.
Mm-mm.
I think that we can make that work.
Mm-mm.
And I even gave her the benefit of the doubt
Mm-mm.
because I didn't have it in my hands for collateral. But she owes me. And now I need to collect. So I need you to gather up every single Precious Moments figurine in your karaoke cabinets, on your shelves, on your tables, because they're mine. And if you don't, You're going to have so many issues, Miss Crystal. And so is Diamond. So y'all better get it together
God, no.
and get me my money or my collateral. I will be calling back. And that voicemail better be shorter.
I don't want to have to address this. If you don't know who Diamond is, she's a woman that has caused so many problems in my life. She's a liar, a thief, a cheat, manipulator, gaslighter, narcissist, and every one of those words for psychological profiles that are bad. The amount of money that she's stolen from me and my family, the amount of heartache that she has put my family through, is immeasurable. And what I'm going to say to you, Barnaby, if that's your real name, is that my debts are not Diamond's and Diamond's debts are not mine. I will never, and I repeat, never pay a debt for Diamond. And I will never give up not a single precious moment figurine for Diamond's debts. And you heard it here first. You heard it here first. Even though I can't hardly say my words right now because I am very upset. I don't care if Diamond has a outstanding JCPenney credit card bill, anywhere from $500 to $200,000. I will never pay her debts. I don't care if she has a car loan that she has skipped out on. I don't care if she has a loan out for a plastic surgery thing. I will never pay Diamond's debts. And I guarantee you, if you show up at my door to collect any of my precious moment figurines that are sitting behind me and behind Safety Man and some that are in storage because I just don't have room for them, I will take matters into my own hands. And I'm willing to catch a charge, Barnaby. So don't call me. Don't call my voicemail, and don't show up in my home unless you intend to have your last days on earth. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Don't call my voicemail. I'm blocking you right now, Barnaby. Don't show up. Because not only will I be ready for you, I'm going to tell Mr. Elgin too. And Mr. Elgin used to be in the Navy, and he will up. And I'm going to have to beep that word because YouTube doesn't like that, but I will you up. And I'll say it again. I will you up if you come to my door, Barnaby, if you call me again, or if you leave a voicemail. Because you're not going to come to my place of home and threaten me with my precious moments. Because I've spent years collecting them, and I've spent years curating my collection to a collection that is probably the biggest in the world. So try me, bitch. That's what I'll say to that. And I'm done with voicemails for the day. Don't call me threatening me. I'm done with voicemails. I might even never even take a voicemail again. This might just be the first voicemail and the last for Miss Crystal's podcast program, because I ain't going to have people calling me and threatening me on my own podcast. Call and say something good. And don't call talking about my dirty underwear. Alrighty, I'm going to switch segments here today. Welcome back to Miss Crystal's podcast program on the back of voicemails. Today, this is going to be a quick segment called Heirloom of the Past. And this is to educate the younger people. Or this might be to be nostalgic for people that are my age. Now, when I was younger, it'd be Friday night, and you know, your mom or dad would say, "Hey, what do you want to do tonight?" And I'd say, "Hey, Mom, can we go get some pizza and go to a movie?" And she'd say, "Hold on, let me get my coupon book out." And she would get this book out, and it's called Entertainment. And as you can see, this is from the year 90. And this is a whole booklet full of coupons. And if there wasn't a coupon for it, we weren't doing it. Okay, so you had to go through here and look and say, okay, here's some Burger King coupons. You'd rip that out and you'd go to Burger King. What if you wanted McDonald's? Hey, Mom, I want McDonald's tonight. And she'd look through there and she'd say, let me see if I have a coupon. Nope, don't have one for McDonald's. We're not going there. So you would search through here. And look at this. It had your own card. This made you look official. This wasn't a credit card. This you just say, you know, hey, do you have an entertainment coupon book? And they'd say, sure do. And you'd show this. That was just to show, you know, really how cool you were. Let's see what else they had in here. They had food. It was different colors, different sections. I think the food was yellow. And then we had pink, which was entertainment. For instance, we've got Magic Circle Theater, $10. And you'd rip it out. You had to rip it out. They weren't going to let you not take it. What else did they have? Oakland Ensemble Theater. Take this coupon, you're getting a deal. People in the 90s didn't go anywhere without coupons. Pretty cool, I think. Then they had the purple section, which was for things like the golf course, or I'm having trouble seeing. I need a new prescription. I can't see a damn thing. Purple looked like activities, and then in the back, Diamond Peak Ski Incline. I guess this was more of a rich. If you were rich, you would go to the blue. Because poor people can't afford to go skiing. We're just trying to stay alive. We're not trying to go skiing, you know. Heidi's. I don't even know what the heck that is. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And, you know, this was a staple of families in the 90s. Because people were trying to save money in the 90s. They weren't trying to waste money. And with an entertainment book, you could do just that. And I wish they bring these back. They have Groupon now, which is all online. It'll never be the same as the entertainment coupon book. Never. And this one, we must have lost it because it's a little bit waterlogged and every single coupon is in there. Not one has been taken out. And I've saved that for many years to remind me, you know, of the good times. I wonder if I could send this in. It says urgent official registration. I wonder if I sent this in if they'd send anything back. And they'd say, ma'am, nobody uses coupons no more. That will end the heirloom of the past. Last segment I have here for y'all is Crystal Creations LLC Creation of the Week. And this is a doozy. And I created this one. This is a toilet paper cover. So let's say you have guests coming over and somebody wipes a lot and they use a lot of toilet paper. So you don't want to just set an errant toilet paper roll out on the top of the toilet because that looks trashy. So what you do is you get this little doll and you put the toilet paper inside of there and you set it on the back of the toilet. And that way, when they come in, they say, oh, this is a fancy bathroom that doesn't have toilet paper rolls sitting everywhere. And then they'll say, oh, that is really cute. Look at that little girl. She kind of looks like Tammy, my cousin Tammy, when she was a child. Isn't she sweet? Just really cute. Look at her little hands, got a bow on there. Handcrafted. This is actually 2 pieces. It's a little doll, but it doesn't have legs. It's a little doll with a torso. And then I created the dress to go around a roll of toilet paper. And she just sits there. And if you have a bathroom that doesn't have a lot of blue stuff in it, get this, because the blue accent on there is really cute. You don't see a lot of blue bathrooms anymore. You see a lot of modern colors like a gray or a white. But you put this in there, conversation starter. When your guest comes out of the bathroom, they'll say, "Hey, what was that cute little doll sitting on the back of the toilet?" And I'll bring them in and say, "Hey, I made that. That's another Crystal's Creations LLC." If you like one of these for your friends or family for birthdays or Christmas, let me know. And I can customize it. I can make a pink dress or a red dress. And I can have a girl with brown hair or an African-American girl. Or we have all ethnicities. So let me know in the comments your custom orders, and we will get those sent out as quick as we can. And these take, weeks to make, so I don't know how many I'll be able to get out to you, but that is the Crystal's Creations LLC of the week. Say goodbye, little girl. Bye-bye. Hey, do you want to have a cool toilet paper holder like me? Just put your orders in now and say what color dress you want. Well, folks, my neighbor has shown me several minutes ago that we have hit the 30-minute mark, so I know that I have at least given you the product of 30 minutes. Probably, that's been almost 20 minutes ago. We're almost at an hour. But it is time to go for me. Frankly, he's got a date tonight, so I got to get him out of here real quick. But I'm glad I made it this far. I'm glad I made this first episode. I'm glad it's done because I've been fretting about it for about, 6 to 8 months. I announced almost a year ago, I'm doing a podcast. And we're just now doing it. And I got a problem. All right. I'm sorry. But I appreciate you being here. And I want you to subscribe and comment and everything. And tune in next time for more segments like you saw today. So goodbye, everybody. It's time to go. Goodbye, everybody. I like you to know that you're my friend and we're friends forever, and come on back to see me. It's time to go, and that's all there is, and I love you. Goodbye. And may you be blessed beyond your comprehension. It's me, Miss Crystal, signing off. All right, bye-bye.